Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's First Formation Morning Sports Talk. It's me, your boy Trey. Got my man's Bishop. We in here. Y'all been tuning in with us lately. It was a pretty lit show yesterday. It took a different turn, but that's what we're here for. Conversations. Uh, Sometimes some things go the way, go opposite sides. You just gotta go roll with it.
That
In
that
any
part.
case, yeah. In any case, we in any case, the positivity of the conversation and communication, opening it up, and basically, things being put out there. You have an understanding. Everyone sees that you're working towards something for a betterment, and hopefully, that's whatever comes out of that yesterday's show. Um, of course. As we said again, shout out to Fort Jackson military basketball and Coach Wayne Walcott. As we stated, they over the weekend won the MBA Military Basketball Association finals. His testament, everything is a testament to the hard work and grind that they do. Like we say, we push the armed forces athlete to the max. Basketball, softball, track, anything in which a service member is doing, we we're here for it. But Bishop, a couple things went on in the sports world. Additionally, I know last night the U.S. women's national team basically punched their ticket to the Paris Olympics, defeating the Canadian team by 1 point. So now they're able to go to the 2024 Olympics. Uh, um, so now Jamaica will basically be able to play um, the Canadian team for again the other of the CONCAF tournament title to for them to also punch a ticket to the 2024 Paris Olympics, um, and already have that spot solidified. It's crazy we talk about the Olympics 2024. It's like we just had the Olympics. Don't you feel like that, Bishop?
Absolutely. We all know because of COVID
Yeah,
and
That's right. We got shortened the year.
yeah, it pushed the Olympics back in 2020. And so they had to push it back to 2022.
Mm,
So 2021, 2022, whatever you want to call it.
uh huh.
So yeah, the Olympics are coming a lot sooner because of that. So I mean that's good for what's her name? I think that's kind of good for her who got, disqualified from the Olympics because of, the excuse me, for basically smoking weed. What's her name? You know what I'm
Takari, Richard. Is it Takari
talking Yeah,
Richardson?
yeah, her. So it gives her an opportunity shorter. She don't have to wait as long because it's 2024. Instead of waiting 4 years, it's more like two for her to be able to to compete again. So that's good. And I think that's a good thing for her. It gives her an opportunity to kind of like bounce back and give her a chance to to show what she has, and I'm sure she's really looking forward to it. To be honest with you, in my personal opinion, I truly believe that's something that she's definitely looking forward to trying to try and show that she's the best runner. Even though uh even though the what the Jamaicans have some more to say about it, I'm sure. I'm sure the Jamaicans have way more to say about that because as we talk about the Olympics, let's talk about this, right? As we talk about the Olympics, this Sunday, we didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday because of the fact that, like we talked about, we was on air regards to the NBA. I'm talking about military basketball, but we do know that yesterday or this weekend, over the weekend, it was the World Championships, and then it was the 100-meter women's 100-meter finals, which of course had Sherry Ann Fraser Price, and two other Jamaican women who are dominating the women's track and field, especially when it comes to the sprints. Shelly Ann Fraser Price definitely is one of the ones who's killing it the most in the sprints. And for those that didn't get an opportunity to probably see it, here I'm gonna show it to you now. For those that didn't get a chance to watch, but this is it right here, and this is the 100 meters. Sherry Ann Fraser, Sherry Ann Price. You know what I'm talking about. Her. This is the 100 meters. She ran a 10.67, blowing away the competition. The Jamaican women took first, second, and third in the 100 meters. So they're dominating. They've been dominating for decades. Excuse me, Jamaica has in the 100 meters, and it just doesn't stop, man. That the woman that she is the Usain Bolt of women's track and field in the 100 meters. This woman is unstoppable, and she runs at a phenomenal speed. So will she run in the 2024 Olympics? That's yet to be determined. I don't think anyone has asked to see if she chooses to run or if she plans on running again. We will definitely see it. But as you can see, the women, the three women from Jamaica took first gold, silver, and bronze in the 100 meter in the World Championships this weekend. And Jamaica representing, man, shouts out to Jamaica for that. They breed sprinters, man. Without question, they breed sprinters. That is what they do. So, Trey, what's your thoughts, man?
I mean, cool
Come
for
on.
a complete sweep. Additionally, the U.S. men also in the 100 meters were able to get the clean sweep. Interesting enough, so Jamaica takes the clean sweep in the women's 100 meters. USA men's 100 meters take the sweep. As Let me make sure I get his name right. As Fred Curley, I'm sorry, Fred Curley wins the gold. Um, Bracy Williams Jr. is the silver, and Trayvon Brownwell walks away with the bronze. With Fred Curley running a 9 point, I think it was a 9.86. As we know, last year Fred Curley was actually not last year, but the quote unquote, as Bishop was just talking about, we came on the 2021, 2022, 2020, 2021 U.S. Olympics. Tokyo Olympics. Curley was actually the silver medalist for the men's 100 meter. So coming back into the world championships, he is the gold medalist with the 9.86 as he continues to make the play.
And so um has he officially outran uh Usain Bolt's
No, no,
record?
no, no, that's not
Because what how are they labeling him the fastest man in the world here?
currently.
I see. Oh, currently. They're just saying
Yeah.
currently he's the fastest man in the world.
Yeah, currently the fastest man, basically for this year. I guess he has the fastest time for the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, of course, like I said, the fastest. He's not the world. That's not the world record for nine point eight
Okay.
six. But he's currently the fastest for this year. He's the fastest man. USA's Grant Holloway wins the meter, the 110-meter hurdles as your man's was disqualified. Did you see that, Bishop? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
Devin
yes,
Allen.
yes. I
Yeah,
saw that.
but Holloway wins back to back, defends his title, 2019 world title, with the 13.03. Trey Cunningham grabs silver for the men's 110 meter hurdles. So it's
And,
starting to amp up a little. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
USA
it's getting
track
us ready. Yeah, it's getting us ready for like you say, it's getting us ready for the 2024
2024.
Olympics.
Yeah,
And
indeed. Yes, indeed.
just to be fair, man, I'm gonna let y'all see the men's 100 meters because that's only right. That's only right. I can't do women and not do the men because y'all would have a fit if I did that. So here we go. This is the men's 100 meter. And there Curly. That was close. Good
Mm.
God, I didn't know it was that close. Ooh, that was close. My bad. Oh, that was a close race. Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
man.
Uh,
Oh, man. Oh, that
Curly
was a
put
close
Curly
finish.
basically, but Curly basically took the gold medal in the last 10 meters. So
Oh my God.
definitely was a
Yeah,
situation where you're saying that burst, that last second, saying put their head
man.
down, run
You see
through.
how close that
But look at the
was?
forms.
Yes, look
Look
how
at his
close that
form.
was.
He started walking down. Look like he started using.
Oh, he inched
Yeah,
him out. Oh, that was millimeters. He got he. Oh my God, he inched him out. Man, nice running, guys. Nice running. Unlike the women's, the men they was in that. The women, Frazier, she ran away with it easy. Like to me, I'm gonna be honest, Trey. To me, it looked like she wasn't even trying. And they had spoke about her not trying previously in the prelims, like she wasn't running fast. Matter of fact, they had said that about all three of them, the
well,
three Jamaican women. They said which we all know that that they don't go all out in the prelims because they're trying to save it for the finals. But even in the finals, I'm gonna be honest, Frazier looked like she was posting.
but even
I'm
then, Fraser, she's technically last year's from the Olympics, the
that
silver
part.
medalist. So you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. So yeah, so I don't know when you take a look at it, it's like okay, we talk about what we understand is the Olympics is creme de la creme. You know what I'm
the
saying?
best
It's
of the best, baby.
the nation's best of the best. Although these individuals do compete in the world nationals and stuff like that, world championships, but
Hmm.
the Olympics is the big stage. So
Right.
if like okay, I got beat or I didn't even compete for the worlds, I don't
Yeah.
get the championship, but I am the gold medalist from the last Olympics, which was 4 years in span. It's like when it's time to show up, like people say, some people turn it on, even though the conversation is practice. But then, of course, are we talking about practice? So it just depends. I guess it's a mindset, you know, what I'm saying when it
Yeah.
goes forth, like which one, what do you show up for? Nationals use the World Championships of every 2 years. Yeah, it's supposed to be every
Yeah.
two
2 years.
years,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
2 years after that we have
Yes.
the
The Olympics.
Olympics.
Right.
So
It kind of preps you for it. And
yeah,
not
yeah,
without that being said, let's not forget and let's not show and pay homage to one of the greatest female track athletes who ran her last uh
yes. Let's go
Felix.
Trojans.
Yes, yeah, I gotta give
Let's
it to her.
go.
Alex and Felix. That was the
Yes,
last time we will see Alex and Felix on a track and field competition.
greatness.
She has officially retired from the sport of track and field this past weekend. It's a great pleasure to say she has represented for the US for the past 20 years, because I think when she came in she was like
Yeah,
16, 17, and
yeah.
she's 36 now,
Can
37 somewhere. Yeah.
can I on this show, Bishop? Can I hear you say
Yes,
thank you?
she is. Yes, I have to give her props. I
USC
give props when props
produces
due.
track stars.
Produced USC is she is an alum of the mighty University
Yes,
of Southern Cal USC Trojans. She has represented well for our
yeah.
country for numerous years, 2 decades, uh, that she's actually taken on and able to represent for us. And shouts out, give her flowers now. Thank you very much, Allison Felix, for what you've done for our country and for the sport of women's track and field.
So we're going back to a little Anthony Price talking about the Washington Nationals on the map for this time frame. As last night, Juan Soto defeated
One, yeah,
Julio Rodriguez in this year's
the
uh,
derby, bro,
home
the
run derby.
derby,
I mean, you
the
got to get a win.
derby,
Like
bro.
I had to get a win just saying like Allison ain't ran for USC in over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? You get it how you live. You got to get it how you live, man.
Derby, bro.
So
Really, Anthony, you had to go to the derby to get you
hey,
some
get it how you
props.
live, man. I am not mad at it. But of course, that's like you said, Juan Soto. That's the
Man, shout out.
All Star. That's the All Star
I forgot all about that
game
too.
comes up for
Did you watch
MLB.
it?
No,
Did you
I didn't
watch
get
it?
a chance to watch it. No, I didn't
I
get a
missed
chance to watch it. I
it.
actually, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I wish I would have seen it because it's in LA. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, was it
It's in
LA?
Dodger
Yeah, right. That's
yeah, it's
right. It
in
was in
Dodger
Colorado.
Stadium.
That's
It's
right. It
Dodger
was.
Stadium.
Yep.
Let's go,
Yep.
Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Um,
Yep.
that's who I should have dined this morning, but you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I feel it. I'm sorry. Woo, you know what I'm saying? It's time is coming. I sit up
Yeah,
and
that's
had to
right.
shout out I seen one of the people I know on my page and is
Mhm.
a female at that. And she was like,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, she's like, where's a fantasy football? Because these other ones is
Somebody hit
trash."
me. Somebody
I
hit me
said,
up with a
I
female
sent the
too.
message. I was like, "Hey, first formation
Oh,
welcomes you. Go check
oh.
out the page. Let's go. We want. I you
That's
know, what I'm saying we are equal opportunity. I hand out these whoopings equal opportunity. So you know, what I'm saying it don't make a difference. You know, what I'm saying we can get how I live. I welcome if a female can defeat me. It hasn't happened yet. So at least as far as I know, you know, some people put pseudonyms and stuff like that and don't want to let it be known. But yes, uh, and he's up for trade value. We tracking Anthony, so he's saying making a play for us. So indeed, but so I had to don the colors as we get into a little in NBA first before we get into the NFL because I know Bishop has plenty to say as we was talking. So it's some interesting things topics came up yesterday in the NFL or sort of speak, but we'll get
a lot.
into it.
It's a
Get into
lot going on in the NFL right now, y'all. If y'all don't know, if y'all ain't paying attention,
the
it's a
Madden game.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, bro.
So yesterday, like I said, we had a couple of topics, but like we said, we had some other more engaging topics came up in which we went through that. Good morning, Commissioner Myers. What's good with you this morning?
What up?
Glad to
What up,
have you in
Bish?
formation.
What up,
Uh,
Bish?
so one of the things which we didn't get to talk about yesterday, Bishop, is the like we know that Rudy Gobert,
Mm-hmm.
one part of what presumably could have been um, Utah's formidable team was traded to Minnesota. So it would be you would think it to be unfathomable for Utah to trade um, Donovan Mitchell. Although the
Mm-hmm.
talks the talks have been on in reference to trading Donovan Mitchell, which is you wouldn't
Yeah,
have thought it.
he's not untouchable. They saying.
Yeah, he's not untouchable. But however, what makes him untouchable, in a sense, what's good, Keith? Good, we're glad to
What's
have
up?
you with
Good
us this
morning, Key.
morning.
Good. How you doing? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning.
In a sense, what makes him touchable is what Utah is asking for him.
Oh Lord,
They
I didn't hear.
ask, yeah,
What are they?
they asked for per saying ESPN 700s in Salt Lake City, Tony Jones and the Athletic. Uh, they asked for 6 first rounds. Quentin,
Six.
hold up, hell, that's not it. Six, six first rounders. Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickly, and Obi Toppin
Bro,
for Donovan Mitchell.
bro.
So
Hey, Trey, you not gonna tell me that you don't think that's a lot, bro? That's a lot.
it is so, but it goes back to even it was even you or Ron that said what Rudy Gobert got or to make that trade happen is like
Mhm.
now is that standard or is Utah just basically like hell it happened? Let's see if we can catch the lightning in the bottom
It's
twice.
like they, bro. It's like they pushing and trying.
Yeah, like hey, you know, what I'm saying these are top. We gave away our best 2 players at this point, and this is
It's
we
like
won't.
they trying to see. Yeah, it's like they trying to see. Wow, let's see how much we can get from you. But let's throw everything, the whole sink at them. They on their Brooklyn Bull, Anthony. That's what you feel like, bro. They are, bro. They want the house car, the kids, and
You know,
you ain't lying.
remember,
They
my
want,
mama was home when you left. You're right. That's what I said. That's I feel like a cadence is coming on.
yeah. Yeah, come on, man. Y'all are asking. Come on, Donovan Mitchell is. Don't get me wrong. He's no slouch. He's definitely a damn good basketball player. But however, he's
Mm-hmm.
not a LeBron James. He's not a Kevin Durant. He's not a Luka Doncic. He's not a Greek freak. He's not an Embiid. Come on, man. These all these people above him, and y'all asking for what y'all asking,
9 picks, basically.
bro. Bro, that's crazy. You're
I
basically
would
out of
balk.
your
I would balk at it too. I'd be like, man, fam, stop
You're
playing
out of
with
your
me.
mind. You're out of your mind. You're basically you're
That's
losing. You're
is
losing,
that
bro.
disrespectful? To
They're
even try to
very
play you like that, like
so it's disrespectful. Yeah,
you would take it disrespectful. Like, how dare you?
yeah. I would definitely now Donovan. I know he's sitting back like this. Donovan back there. He's sitting back like
Like I'm gonna watch this. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
watching this go down.
Donovan definitely feels like oh yeah, that's what I'm talking. I'm worth that. You know what I'm saying? He looking at
Mhm.
the next Donovan probably looking at the next ratings for 2K23 to see make sure his is a 99 at these with these type of trade talks. But no, Donovan, let's come back to earth, bro. You're a good guy. You're a good player. The audacity. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty just.
The
So
audacity.
you know what? I'm not gonna even hold them. I'm not going. I'm not even mad at of Utah, honestly, because that
And I
I
think
think as a
like Trey,
GM, I think I would be very shrewd too. I'm like, you
but
gotta sit up
Trey,
and swing for him.
I got you. But Trey, don't you think like you're the other team on the outside looking in with
Hmm.
those type of demands that you're looking to try and get for Donovan? To me, in layman's terms, I feel like they really ain't trying to get rid of Donovan. Not asking that all of that. You're not. You're just
Okay,
you
I feel
throwing
what
that
you're
out
saying.
there, and you know what I'm saying. You just
Somewhat like what, like what Anthony was saying. The same thing Brooklyn did, in which they said we want this, at the third. It's like if
throw the
you, it's
big out
like
there,
we not. It's like if we may not be for real, but if you are, if you're
willing to
willing to
do
do
it.
it, we'll make it
Hey,
happen.
that part, that part, that part. I feel like they threw it out there to see if anybody gonna take. It's like clickbait. Put it
Hmm.
out there, see if anybody gonna click on it, and see if somebody be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take it." Oh well, if you take it, then okay,
Okay, you know
sure,
what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like you know what
sure
I'm
it
saying.
is.
It's like we didn't think I didn't think we were really gonna do that. So in any case, I
Right,
get it and stay, but so I like he said the audacity, but at the same time, as a GM, you got to, you know what I'm saying, you got to sit up and do what you got to do to
do
make
you?
your team better. And
You
if, you
gotta
know what
do
I'm
you.
saying, and ultimately on the opposite side of the spectrum, like you was just saying, if I'm the Knicks and I'm doing that and I'm bringing in Donovan, if this makes my team better, then, you know what I'm saying, point, you know what I'm saying, game Knicks. But
Right,
additionally, if it doesn't, I just gave up 9 players for 1 player to leverage, you know what I'm saying, my future and a couple of future players in which I have to bring in Donovan, and then what happened?
six,
Donovan doesn't perform. Six
six
first round
first
picks
game though. Six,
because
bro.
they have 8 of their own for the next in the next couple of years. So they was like, okay, they got 8 of them. Let me get 6 of those.
Lakers and Knicks are desperate. Not that desperate. I don't
Nah,
think neither
because
one of them are.
if that was the case, it would have happened already.
Yeah, I don't think them
And
two are that
honestly, I
desperate.
think, and what I was just coming across, I didn't get a chance to read because I start looking at something else. The Lakers' big three is committed, from what I understand it is.
I
So it
saw that.
might,
I just looked at that. They
yeah,
were
they're
just saying,
committed.
yeah,
So it's like, but that doesn't mean they being committed is completely different from the organization being committed. Like,
that
yes,
part.
we appreciate you're committed. So that
Your
means
commitment, yeah,
when you go to his
yeah,
other squad,
yeah.
we keep that same
Keep that
energy.
same level. Yeah, keep that same energy.
Keep that
Go
same
there,
energy. Yes, sir.
yeah, keep that
Like, I'm
same
very
energy.
appreciative that you
When we
just
send y'all over as a tandem, keep that
yeah,
same
yeah,
energy,
keep that
man.
same energy, so we make
Yeah,
sure that we don't look. It doesn't look like we just poach you. So yeah, so
right,
of course that's what you want, but again, that doesn't turn into guaranteeing that you're gonna stay on the squad. Um,
right.
in your neck of the woods, Bishop, San Antonio Spurs and forward Keldon Johnson came to a extension agreement, getting 4 years, 80 million for the young guy. Extension it's crazy. Like the money is like 20 million. Like this man's making 20 million. His fifth year in the NBA. He's already at 20 million. He's making 20 million. So what I learned is while I was going to school to learn to be a sports agent or
Mm-hmm.
athlete management, to be an athlete manager, is especially in the basketball realm. Like most agents don't commit. Basically, they almost like work for free the first year
Yeah.
because it's
Oh yeah,
like
because
yeah,
they gotta
because
build their
there's
they gotta build their
there's no money, there's not really no money. Like you don't make any money off the initial contract, like their
right.
first contract. Like I can make money off of uh
They gotta basically see you do
advertisement
your work.
and
Yeah,
marketing and
they
stuff
can
like
see you. Yeah,
sponsorships. I can make money off that because those, you know, say I can make up to 10% on that, but
right.
you only can
But they
make
got
1 to 3% off the
to play himself.
pockets of the player off the contract, the negotiated
Mhm.
contract. So it's like if at that money, it's like I'm poaching them. Like, you know what I'm saying, he ain't making that much. So like you said, it also instills something like, you know what I'm saying, I'm willing to, yeah, that's your money, you know what I'm saying. You do what you're gonna do with
Offer
that.
my services, right?
3 years, yeah,
But
3 years from now, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I can still make money if I go and do due diligence and produce other deals for you, get you
mhm,
sponsorship, get you all that type of stuff, get you different things. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
I can make money off that. But as
mhm,
far as the contract, I don't need to make money. I can sit up and just be like, you know, you keep that. Because you got to think, maybe 15, 16, 20 million or 15 million for four
mhm.
years. You know, at that point, it's like 3 or 4 million a year. and I'm supposed to get 1 to 3% of that negotiated contract. Yeah, and so it's like I don't want to gouge you or anything like that. But if I get the chance to be around, as we
Mhm.
see, and we come back running back 80 million. Now we talk about now. You know, what I'm saying, now I get paid. You know what I'm saying, and we get paid. So
Right. And
so when I
Anthony
look at
Price,
it,
I'm sure this happens. I'm sure. I would assume that certain players, probably not all agents, get this lucky, but I'm sure some agents probably have some players that have a tendency to slide them a little bit of extra on the side depending on the size of the
yeah. So for
contract.
the most part, so as an
Right.
agent, you're only obligated. The players only obligated to pay you what you was able to negotiate him. So
Right.
at in state is as long as we have a contract in place and we do, like I said, we sign. I get you paid 3 years, whatever million or whatever case like that, or 4 years. Like in this case, Kelton Johnson, 80 million extension to where now he's going to make 80 million. If I negotiated that contract for you, whatever my
Hmm.
percentage that is, I earned off that contract as well as everything else I have negotiated for. As long as I get that money, that's our deal. I paid you for what you brokered me.
Hmm.
At that point, we can sever ties. You know, at that point, we don't have to once I'm paid for the money in which I was contracted based on the contract in which you gave, then we can sever ties as long as I get my money. So if you feel like okay, you know, saying
And
like we
what's the
went with
percentage? What is the percentage that the
one to one at the point in which I went through school is 1.3%, 1 to 3% on the contract, the NBA on the contract on the negotiated contract. 1 to 3% negotiated contract, 1 to 10% on in sponsorship, advertisements, and stuff like that. So
Okay.
ultimately,
Okay.
1 to 13% total, which you can get if depending upon what's negotiated between you and the client. So basically, when that comes out, so after I pay, after everything's been negotiated in the contract, you can even pay me when you get your money. Because understand when you say 80%, I mean 80 million, and
Hmm.
1 to 3% of that. Now you're looking at okay, $800,000 for the most part. You
Hmm.
can pay me the 800,000 up front, or if I'm around for the long haul, you can basically when you get because you're not getting all that money up front. So when you get the percentage of that up front, then it's like okay. So I can get 200,000 for 4 years or whatever,
Hmm.
however you pay me. But in state is when all my money is paid out to me, we can sever ties. If you feel like I'm not like Russell Westbrook and his agent of 17 years have or whatever time frame they've been together have parted ways due to the fact of he felt differently upon what Russell Westbrook was doing. Was he felt like it was a damage to his legacy and his value in the NBA by doing certain things. Russell Westbrook felt differently, so due to irreconcilable differences, they
He's
um
they
they
parted.
yeah
They
they
parted.
parted
Yeah.
ways. So
Yeah, I saw
saying
that.
stuff like that happened, and I think that would be the age I would be. I probably would be parting ways with a lot
And
of
they
people because it's like
that's been his agent for since he's been coming to the league, right? That's been
yeah,
his
they've been
agent for a
together for
minute.
a while.
Yeah. So it's definitely with that means definitely there's some I don't want to say animosity, but some definitely some things aren't going well for both sides of the parties. Being that Russell obviously wasn't happy with his agent, and agent wasn't happy in what Russell I guess was doing, so they had to part ways. You hate to hear it, but it had to happen. Obviously, will this do you feel like the departure of his old agent and the part of him getting a new agent, if he chooses to get a new agent, do you think this will reflect on the court, Trey, in regards to Russell?
Nah, I don't think that's going to be for the most part. Russ is a vet, so
Hmm.
a vet due to make 40 million this year. So he that part of it, I think he has. I think the only way it'll affect him is if it starts to um for this year if it was some things that he had in place that his agent might have been um uh very forthcoming in creating deals for him and brokering that type of stuff off the court, which in that case, in which we know Russ is
Mhm.
starting a new clothing line. So if his agent was instrumental in that, now with him departing, where does that go if he was instrumental in doing that? If his agent was other aspects, if he brought stuff in, like those part, you know, what I'm saying, which I think for the most part the basketball part is not going to worry about. Even Russ, I mean, there's plenty of agents out there. Um, if Russ want to take a chance on anyone else, or you know, saying someone, of course we
Mhm.
know you got, you know, his their own super agent in the building when you got Rich Paul and
Mhm.
Clutch Sports. If he wanted to go that route, Rock, you know, saying Rock Nation,
Mhm.
Young Money, you know, saying any of those type of stuff. Osaka, her a sports firm, like it's a bunch of them. If he wants to go a different route, just to be different, this late in his career, to where will let you know, saying for them to negotiate things, because technically he's finna come up with another negotiation, even the extension with the Lakers or free agency next year or whatever the case may be, because he's actually going to be a free agent going for. Or yeah,
Mhm.
Kanye West is him and AB's Donda Sports. So you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, any of that type of stuff. So it just becomes that. And to go back to what Anthony's probably, it's not that you get paid every year. It's just that's a possibility, on depending on, unless the client is able to basically give you your money off the rip, you know what I'm saying, wants to pay you, like, and have you already paid out. Or you can sit up and for the most part you request that it's paid annually on this date. So it just depends. All the
Mhm.
contracts. Which
Okay.
me and Bishop usually disagree on sometimes. Contract. But so
That part.
other, you know, say other stuff we talked about yesterday, or didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday, for the most part. LeBron and this Drew League uh pull up. Of course, your man's Kyrie Irving was expected to pull up too, in which he didn't for the most part. Uh, but LeBron did drop 42 points in the Drew League. If you don't know what the Drew League, check it. LA in the building. For the Drew League, 14 point, 42.16 rebounds, and helping the MMV cheaters get their win 104 to 102 over the Black Pearl Elite. Um, LeBron did link up with another NBA All Star in DeMar DeRozan, another native of of California, Compton represent. Uh, so what was interesting, Bishop, and let me know, is Deion Johnson, or
Mhm.
correction, Deion White.
Mhm.
You ever heard of Deion White?
Mm-mm.
Of course, you know what I'm saying. Not saying that, you know what I'm saying. Of course, in California, people
Mhm.
know, but Deion Wright basically had the assignment of holding LeBron, in which in being matched up, I want to make sure I get his quote right.
Mhm.
Uh, Let me see. Where is Wright? Deion Wright. In reference, or maybe I just have to paraphrase. All right, I'll just paraphrase. Basically, in some, Deion Wright came. Oh, here we go. Here's his quote. He dropped 40, and I had 20. For every 2 points he had, I had one. That is really one. That's really a really once in a lifetime player. Player. We had no NBA guys, and had two, and they had two of them, and we only lost by 2 points. If
Oh,
Bron didn't, if
is
Bron
that
didn't show
right?
up, huh?
They didn't have no NBA players. LeBron was only on one NBA, only NBA player playing.
Him and Demar played on the same team.
Oh, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah,
That's BS. Go ahead.
I run it back. I run it back. It says
Yeah.
this, of course, was be through Balls Life on their social media site. Deion Wright 21 on facing LeBron James and Drew Lee. He dropped 40. I had 20. For every 2 points he had, I had one. That's really a once in a lifetime player. We had no NBA guys. They had two and only lost by 2 points. If Brian doesn't show up, we win for sure. So in saying that, I asked a couple of things, Bishop. First and foremost, is this disrespect to DeMar DeRozan? Basically, what Dion is saying, that if it was just DeMar, we would have got the W. DeMar
Ooh,
as the only NBA player on that team without LeBron pulling up wouldn't have been enough for them to get the W. That's what
ooh,
I hear.
is that disrespectful? Hell yeah! If I'm Demar, hell yeah. If I'm Demar, I'm like LeBron. Hey, no, let's run it back. LeBron, sit out, sit out.
Cool,
I
chill,
got
LeBron, chill. I
Let
got
me get
this.
this. I got this. I got this. Yeah. Since you say that, yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna prove LeBron wasn't the only one because obviously I'm sure Demar did. How many points did Demar have? Did it say?
I didn't even see how many points,
You
but I
see
didn't even think to look back, which would have made sense. But
Yeah, but
and
Demar
then it comes down to also that thought of yes, LeBron was there, but if LeBron hadn't been there, that means it would have been more to go around. That's 40 points that would have been distributed between even potentially distributed
is that
to anyone.
is that true, or would have the 40 points would have came from Demar?
Addition is that in that part, like, or even I can see
Demar's
in a
capable
in a
of knocking 40
yeah. Come
points
on now,
himself.
go Demar go gets it against NBA caliber
Yeah,
players. Not
that
saying none of
part.
these are, but he go gets it like this. You know what I'm saying? Fills the buckets against
That
NBA caliber. You don't think if LeBron's there, he's not deferring to LeBron, and he doesn't go pick up at least at minimum half of that 40 points, if not more.
Come on, man.
Come on,
At
man.
that part, Demar gonna give you that work. And don't act like LeBron. No, I mean Demar is a
A
slouch, man.
slouch,
Demar,
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
he gonna give you that work, bro. He
But
gonna
yes,
give you
that so in that quote, in they're saying Dion is in Dion's quote, I felt like, oh, that's shots fired. Pew pew.
every day, all day. That shot's fired. Come on, man.
The way you
If I'm
no,
Demar right now, I'm like, bro, this weekend we running it back. LeBron, stay home. Run it back. We running it back, bro. We running it back. And I'm out here. I'm come see me. Come
now
see me. If y'all,
I think what was
that's
supposed to happen is I think Kyrie was potentially supposed to play on
because
the
it's
Black
called the
Pearl
Drew
Elite,
League. Yeah.
the Drew League. I think he was supposed to play for Black Pearl because I know I seen a quote where someone was like Kyrie didn't want that Lamar and DeMar smoke. So but yeah, so that was
think it's
first thing.
more the fact that because of what's going on with Kyrie and the talks of Kyrie going to the Lakers, that's why Kyrie didn't show.
And they thought he was going to come on Sunday and play, but
I think that's more of.
additionally, in this quote, in Dion saying, "What do you think about on the opposite side of the spectrum, the 104 to 102?" And they were lacking two, and they were two. They had two NBA players compared to their none. And you can sit up and think like if LeBron dropped 40, I would think at least DeMar had 10 or more to where that was half the, and they held them down like I don't know. Is there any truth? And so, I mean, on both sides of the spectrum, it's like what really could have happened, or you know what I'm saying, had it been that, or you know what I'm saying. And do you take solace in knowing that okay, I faced LeBron, probably the goat of my era, and
Mm-hmm.
he dropped. I gave him 20, he gave me 40. Is that a moral victory
For who? The
for
individual?
Dion? For Dion, yeah.
I dropped
How
20
are
on
you
them.
going to feel if you face
Yeah.
LeBron? He
Yes, that's
drops
more.
40 on you, and you drop two of him. How are you feeling at the end of the game? Are you feeling
Yeah.
like what's it?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a moral victory in my opinion. If it's me and I'm out there playing against LeBron and DeMar and I drop 20, oh, I feel like I done did something. Oh, you
Like
ain't
you
gonna
don't want
tell
an
me.
NBA championship?
Yeah, you ain't gonna tell me.
Like Commissioner Meyer is like, hey, give me my ring.
Yeah. We
Slide
lost
I
by
want my ring.
two.
And
We
lost by
almost,
two.
bro. Yeah, I feel like I did something. Oh yeah. Oh, I would definitely. Now the question at hand is, how often was LeBron guarding me though, or Demar? How often was they actually checking me? Now, if they wasn't checking me at all, and people see, because as we
You
saw,
know, you
the,
know what?
the stadium,
On a
the
resume,
gym was packed.
you only have to do it once to put it on a resume, Bishop. So at that
I
point,
hear what you're saying,
LeBron guarded me once.
but
LeBron
no,
guarded me. That's how LeBron guarded me.
no,
At the end of the
no,
game, if it said LeBron was a power forward, and I'm a power forward, hey,
no, no, Trey,
LeBron
because
guarded me.
your friend, no, because Trey, as we all saw, the gymnasium was packed.
Yes.
Your friends are in the gymnasium watching you play against
If they
LeBron.
if they ain't
Soon as you
recorded,
say something,
if they
but
got
no,
video,
but they seen it with their own eyes. For you to sit there and come out,
that's their mental video.
no,
Unless we got a system, we're not in science fiction, Bishop. Unless there's a system that's
it's
currently
only
that we
we've
don't
seen the
have that
video.
can take my thoughts and put it onto a video recorder and show that this is what
No,
they see.
just
If it's
Trey on
not
that
recorded,
nonsense. Trey on that
if it's not
nonsense.
recorded, If it's not recorded, it stated is LeBron guarded me. I dropped 20. It
Trey
only
on that
takes once.
nonsense.
It only
Trey on
takes
that
once.
nonsense, bro. I'm gonna tell you honestly. If it was me and I'm watching you, Trey, and you out there and you talking about man, you
You
see me,
recording
dog. I'm putting, I'm pulling out my phone.
receipts.
I'm pulling out my phone. But not only that, I'm gonna be like, bro,
If he's in a
LeBron.
vicinity, if he's in within a five, a five, a five,
You're saying the
a
zone,
five.
bro.
If he was
You're
in a
saying the
five,
zone,
if
bro.
he's within a 2 to
On
3,
any man,
no,
they
I'm saying
playing.
if he's within the 2 to 3 meter circle and I get a dunk, I dunked on LeBron.
This dude.
That's all. If
This dude.
you're an official. If he's within that circle underneath the basket,
No.
then
Stop
that's
it, Trey.
enough. If his foot is in there, if he's on the line, if his foot is on the line,
Trey,
he's
stop
dunked
it.
on. If I get a
Trey,
dunk, I dunked on LeBron.
Trey, stop it, bro. This
He could
dude
be on
here.
the left side of the circle, and I came from the right baseline. I dunked on LeBron because his foot was in that circle.
Trey, stop it. This dude,
I'm
anyway
just
he can
saying.
get
I'm
this
just
dude
saying.
gonna get it any way he can.
Yeah, that's it.
Any way he can. I'm just saying.
That's all you need to do is be a wordsmith. I just need to be able to place words where they need to be able to place it. I dunked on LeBron. I dropped 20 on LeBron. He guarded me.
Yeah,
That's
you
basically how we're doing it.
I
Indeed,
see.
yes.
You all over that.
Yeah.
But
So
it's a mental or it's an accomplishment for a person who hasn't may never or have never played against an NBA player and then say he dropped 20. That's huge. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, moral victory. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
what
more
about.
victory
Although if
without.
you look at the pictures of him guarding, it looked like he was like, oh, he was all day. He was like, for the
Oh,
pictures,
the
like, man,
intimidation factor is a huge. Yeah, the intimidation factor is a
I
big
wonder.
thing.
I simply wondered, like, so that's like, I think it would be different in basketball because that's like, let's say we go and play football because football is our thing. Let's say we in a flag football tournament, celebrity flag football tournament, and you got to line up again. You got to line up against.
And I shook Donald's ankles, and I got him to fall. Oh boy. Oh boy.
No, let's say you got to line up against DeAndre Hopkins. Like you're intimidated. That's different. Like me facing LeBron on the perimeter, you know what I'm saying? As long as I keep him from getting baseline and stuff like that and him shooting a fadeaway over me, I'm not worried about that. Like that happens. But to sit up and be like, it's one thing to be on a, like if you have never ever in your life played corner or even been in a position where you had to match up with someone one-on-one to where it's you out there on the island, that's a different type of intimidation, honestly, and just in regular, because ultimately you don't want to be scored on, you don't want to be burnt, and all that type of stuff. So there is a bit of butterflies there when you got to do that. Now, when you hold your own, you start to build that confidence like I could do it. But it's nothing like I used to hate, you know what I'm saying, personally, I used to hate having to move from my linebacker spot to go cover a receiver or a running back. We potentially know what's about to go on. So, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you ain't got no over the top help. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Because the safety can only cover one person if they're in even a split set. I mean, a all receiver set or whatever case. Or the safety only can even, or the safety has to come down, or the linebackers, like it's different things. And ultimately, it's in flag football. Usually, it's all everyone's eligible. So you don't know, depending on what defense you're running, you don't know how it's gonna go. So that's a different type of pressure, in my opinion, to where you come back. Because, like you know, saying, like I said, like if you're able to hit, let's say you got to cover Tyreek Hill, Bishop.
Ooh, no, sir, not gonna be able to do it.
Are you hoping? Are you hoping for him to run a fly and get overthrown? Or are you hoping he runs a slant and you basically going to hand him off to the next man?
I hope that he tripped and I'll be able to catch a pick and
so you can say I scored on Tyreek Hill.
Here's that part. But I hope when he tripped, he fall for a long time because if he get up, he walking me down probably without he walking me down.
Or you can catch or you can moss Jalen Ramsey. Which one do you want to get the pick six off of Tyreek pass to Tyreek Hill, or you want to moss Jalen Ramsey on a post corner?
The pick on Tyreek Hill. I want to pick on Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I do. I want to pick on Tyreek Hill. In my opinion, I want to pick.
I
What's
want I
more
want to
great? Which
I want to Moss Jalen Ramsey so I can catch it. You know, what I'm saying catch it up
you
time
know,
to look at him and then look at him, look down at him because he in my mind he fell. So you know, what I'm saying so I want to look down at him and then drop the ball on him and turn around and go celebrate.
oh, you stupid. Anthony says, "What's more great, dunking on LeBron or blocking his shot or crossing him over?" All three.
Ooh,
I want to do all three. If I can cross
all in the
him
same
over,
play, all in the same
all,
play.
yeah. Well, I got to
You want to get the dunk. That sets
cross,
up the.
dunk on him, and then he get the ball, come down, try to shoot a jump over me, and then throw his stuff in the damn bleachers. Yeah, I want to do all three.
So in my mind, it's set up like this: I get the block, and then the block sets up. I ain't punching into the bleachers, but I get the block. That block sets up the fast break. They give me the block. He comes back down. I you know what I'm saying cross him, and then catch him and DeMar in the lane.
Well, damn, you want him and DeMar? You
Him and
what DeMar?
DeMar. And so you know what? As I said that, I thought to myself, like, I just crossed him. How is he in the lane again? But you know, say, but
No,
in any case, it's not my fantasy. It's my vision, and that's what
yeah,
happened. I cross
that's how
him.
you doing it.
He
Yeah.
falls back. Maybe I go around the corner, step back out, and then
Mhm.
someone like a breakdown on defense when someone's like, "Oh, LeBron's going to get him," but LeBron is covering from the cross, and that's when I
Mhm.
go. That's when I make my move, and DeMar tries to help,
Yeah.
or help defense. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens.
This dude right here, he done played it all out in his
Yeah.
head. He done played
Yes,
the
sir.
whole thing out in his head.
I'm a creator. You gotta have massive value. You gotta be able to think quick on your feet.
That part.
Uh,
That part.
so of course, you know, say a lot of other action going on, and when you talk about pro-ams and Drew leagues and stuff like that, different pro-ams, you got stuff coming up. The 44th pole bill, the tournament that Moses Malone built, that's getting ready to go down in Dallas. Of course, in the pro, you
Oh, he
got
got a tournament coming up. Moses Malone got a tournament.
not it's called the Pole Bill Classic. I'll put you onto it. It's a joint going on, or maybe I think Kim's coaching in it as well. Kim Green,
Oh,
you know KG. So but Pole Bill is different. A lot of programs and stuff going on, particularly in Dallas for the most part, and that's one of them. The Pole Bill Anderson 44th annual tournament. So a pro am
mm,
tournament. So you got it going on. The crossover is going on in Washington State, up in Seattle. You know, it
mm,
used to be but it's always been a tournament that's been there to tell it was taken over by Jamal Crawford, so now it's called the crossover, in which that's going on over the weekend. The Toronto
mm.
guard Malachi Flynn dropped 73 points in the tournament, and just the other
Ooh,
day, Jamal Crawford himself, at 42 years old, dropped 46 points in 2.5, in which he only had well no he had 46 points in 3 quarters after 3 quarters, in which 42 of them points came in the second half. So at 42 years old, yeah,
ooh. He putting that work in on them boys. Though, no matter how old he is, he said, "I'm giving y'all this work."
yeah. So
Don't worry, he paying for that today, though. I guarantee you
yeah.
that.
That's like the commissioner was talking about yesterday. Like Coach Wayne was talking about, like, yeah, we gonna feel it.
Yeah, he paying for that today, bro. Know that he is paying for that today.
What else we got? What else we got? In crossover. Oh, so I have a question, Bishop.
Mhm,
Just a not necessarily a hypothetical, because it is actually real talk, but I would like your perspective on this. So
mhm.
what we have is uh, all NBA first team selections.
We had what?
All NBA first team selections. So on one part, in one hand, we have players like Russell Westbrook, Tracy McGrady, Dwayne Wade,
Mhm,
Gary Payton, Anthony Penny Hardaway, John Stockton, and Pistol Pete Maravich, right?
mhm.
All the names of which I just mentioned, the 7 names have two all team NBA selections. Two first team NBA selections. This player that I'm about to mention next has three. And I want to when I say this name, I want you're going to obviously understand where the question is going, and I want your perspective of it. The
Mhm.
player in which I'm getting ready to say, who has three All-NBA first team selections compared to those seven greats which I just mentioned, uh, is none other than Luka Doncic. So, in that saying, what does that say potentially for Luka Doncic? Or is this a situation where we're basically looking at the changing of times and how the game is played now? Luka Doncic has 3 NBA first team selections, and he's only been in the league for the 4 or 5 years. The other ones in which I stated only had two, and none of them play anymore. Oh, well, one plays still, so he has an opportunity to get some more. What does that say for Luka Doncic? Is he greatness, basically?
I don't know if you can consider being greatness without making it into a finals.
Okay.
He hasn't made it to the finals yet. So he's not considered greatness until he carries his team past that threshold, in my opinion. In my opinion. Is he a great basketball player? Yes. Or is he on the verge of being a great basketball player? Yes. Is he at greatness right now? No. He has not taken his team past that threshold to put him in that category yet. In my opinion. He hasn't made it to one final. Not one. So
When you
he
look at
made
it,
playoff.
now,
No
interesting
final.
enough, in for the other seven, only two of them are champions, are NBA champions,
Mm.
I believe.
But
Yeah,
they've been to finals though,
three of
correct?
them. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I'll say I don't think
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady's been through a final, but Penny been to a final.
Right, Penny Ben.
Stockton's been to a final.
Couple. Yeah.
Westbrook's been to a final, and then of
Right.
course Gary Payton and
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade have championships, and then the
Right.
other two were I think even Pistol Pete. I can't remember exactly, and then the other one being Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
All of them are Hall of Famers except one. I don't think Penny's a Hall of Famer. So
Yeah. 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 So yeah. Penny ain't no Hall of Fame. No, I don't know.
no,
Yeah, I
I
don't know if
don't think
he is.
he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, yeah, he probably isn't. And that's sad because I was just watching the other day. What was it? I was watching the Last Dance again, and it was talking about that Orlando team when it was uh, Penny,
Shaq,
Shaq,
Scott,
uh, Scott,
and Nick Anderson.
Nick, all of them, and that was a squad for your man. That was a squad. Was a squad, bro. So
So
yeah.
getting into shifting gears a little, as I guess you could say, Bishop, uh, NFL is here in a sense. I guess you could say NFL is back as today. I know you. The only reason I say that is today starts training camp for select
Oh yes,
teams.
yes, yes, yes,
Today
yes. It
starts
does.
training camp select teams. The Falcons,
So
the Ravens,
that what today was. Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons, Baltimore Ravens, Los Angeles Chargers, Miami Dolphins,
Yeah.
New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, and the New York Giants, as well as the New York Jets, all start their training camp this today. Rookies, their rookie teams their rookie players show up. Of course, next week for those teams, some of them are their players are due to show up in the next couple of days or next week. So,
Mhm.
in a sense, NFL is back. NFL
You're right.
football is back in a sense.
Facts.
Um,
Facts. I totally agree with that part. Yep, they
which
are.
of course that means we get closer and closer uh, to begin our preparation or to send out invites for the first formation inaugural fantasy football
Let's
going forward.
go. Let's
So,
go. It's
uh,
coming up.
with that being said, but other things are still prevalent in it, as we know over the course of the weekend. The Houston Texans settled 30 lawsuits
They
with
did.
the victims or alleged victims of the Deshaun Watson situation, in which it was one of the things that came out in this is the Houston Texans basically stated, we were shocked and deeply saddened when we first learned of the allegations against our own then franchise quarterback in March of 2021. Although our
Mhm.
organization did not have any knowledge of Deshaun Watson's alleged misconduct, we have intentionally chosen to resolve this matter amicably. This is not an admission to wrongdoing, but
Hmm.
instead a clear stand against any form of sexual assault and misconduct. We hope that today's resolution, or in that part of that resolution, will provide some form of closure to the parties involved in with our fans and the Houston community at large. As an organization, we will now turn our focus to the future and doing what we can do to ensure respect for all. Of course, in that uh, Tony Busby issued his statement during that time frame. Today, all the women who have made and intended to make a claim against the Houston, Texas organization have resolved their claims. The terms of the settlements to include the amounts paid each are confidential. I will have no further comment on the allegations of the Texans' alleged role, or other than to say that there is a marked contrast in the way in which the Texans address their allegations and the way that Deshaun Watson's team has done so. As has been previously reported, only one of the 30 women have made allegations against the Texans filed a formal lawsuit. The particular lawsuit will be dismissed with the prejudice as soon as the appropriate settlement paperwork has been completed. Um, so, in that, Bishop, they said there's not an admission of wrongdoing. I think Attorney Busby commends them for taking care of the situation, especially when technically there was only one suit filed against them out of the 30 people. Only one lady filed, and they went ahead and took care of all 30. Um, in your mind, although they say it's no admission of wrongdoing, I'm very sure it was pretty heavily, the odds were pretty heavily against them. Do you think it was a mission of, I mean, not a mission of wrongdoing, but basically they know that they had some play in the this for the most part, and they just went ahead and settled?
You talking about in regards for Houston,
Yeah,
the
for the
Houston?
Texans. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right now when it comes to that situation, the Houston Texans are trying to focus on the season and get past what was going on with Deshaun Watson. So the best
Especially
way
when he's not there anymore.
he's not even there no more. So the best way to do that is resolve the issue the best way they can. Get it get it behind them before like training camp is about to start.
Yeah, good.
Get it
Good
behind
point.
them, yeah, and move on. You know what I'm saying? Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on now and move forward. Deshaun is not even a Texan no more, so let's move past that. And I'm sure that's exactly their intent on why they did what they did. And I don't blame them.
Mm-mm.
I probably would have done the exact
As an
same thing.
organization, as an owner, you'd be like, yeah, let's just get it taken
No,
care of.
let's move past. Yeah, let's get past this. We're talking about right now. We're talking about something that's irrelevant to us right now. It's no longer our issue. Let's get past it. He's just, a whole different organization. Let's move on and let's do what we got to do to sever ties and be done with. And let's focus on what we need to focus on right now, and that's this upcoming season. That's
Hmm.
how
No doubt,
without
definitely. Uh,
question.
So definitely one of those situations in which it's unfortunate, and like you said, you don't want to be talking about something after the fact. Like he's not a part of the organization. We don't want to
Yeah,
sit up and deal with this later on. We don't want to have
right.
nothing to do with, like, saying, let's just go ahead and
Not a priority no more for
yeah.
them. Let's move
Um,
past it.
so before we get, I know Anthony Price wants to talk about this. So is coming, Anthony. I guarantee it's coming. As long as
Oh,
Bishop's on the set,
yeah,
it's definitely
you
coming
know it's
because
you know
it's
we
coming,
talked
Anthony.
about
I
it
believe.
briefly yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, Kansas City offensive tackle Orlando Brown,
Mm-hmm.
coveted, highly coveted offensive tackle in the
Right.
NFL.
The
Bishop,
highest paid, right?
no, not even yet, not yet. He
About
left 6 years, 139 million, which amounted to 6 years, 139 million on the table, which would have amounted to him getting 32 million for the first year and then sign the bonus, and he would have been paid 100. He would have paid 95 million over the course of the next 5 years to finish out his contract. He left it all on the table to play it on the franchise tag, with the hopes of he's going to basically get the money later on in the year. So now, are you, or do you think you would, or in case anyone that's out there, are you leaving that on the table with the to gamble on? I'm going to get paid more. Like, you're gonna make money off the franchise tag 1 year.
what year is he in? Orlando Brown. What year is he
I think it's an extension, so I think he's in his maybe fourth or fifth year.
in? Okay.
I think I'm not sure. I have to look, but
He's
6
trying,
years, 139 million
he's
on the
trying to
table.
set he's trying to set the precedents for the
Gambling on himself.
Yep, he's trying to set the precedents. Everybody else did it. Everybody else did it. Someone stepped out on a limb for whatever position. The wide receivers, the quarterbacks, you know, the DBs. Everybody's done it. The defensive lineman it's an offensive lineman's turn now. Somebody somebody got to set the precedents, and I guess he wanted. I guess they came to an agreement. All the linemen say, "Hey man, we need somebody to step out there. Well, hey, who gonna do it? Who gonna do it? We need somebody to step out there, put us on the map. Everybody else getting them bag. We need to get a bag too now. We protect the quarterback who's getting them bags. So let's boom. Somebody got to step out, and he was like, "I'll do it. I got it. I got it. I'll go first." So
So,
I'm not mad at him. I mean, like I said, Trey, everybody else is doing it. Why wouldn't he? Like, why wouldn't he? Why would he? Like, literally, like seriously, Trey, it's you.
mhm.
You see everything that's going on around you in the league in regards to everybody getting these back in different positions. You know, ain't nobody gotten that bag yet for the offensive lineman. Are you going to take that contract and accept what they're proposing to give you, or are you going to sit down and just say, you know what? Nah, I see all these other cats getting money bags. Hey, when's our turn?
So
When's our
I actually this that's it's a two part. I got a two-part answer for that. My first one, from an aspect of, for me, just as Trey, as a person looking back, I'm looking
Mhm.
at the outside looking in, is we don't have too many offensive linemen that are a caliber to get that type of money.
Facts? I agree
So
with
that's
that.
the first part.
100%.
Now, as you know, saying now going into the hypothetical, or what you were saying, if it was me and I was offensive lineman, and I'm looking and I have the ability, or I have, saying I have enough skill of a skill set to where I can demand that type of money and get that type of money, then I completely understand that. But I don't. For me, I wouldn't want to necessarily. What's good, Stanton? For
What's
me,
good?
I wouldn't necessarily want to be the beginner of that, because in state is my money is lesser. Although I'm not against, saying, because let's think of somebody, Trent
Yeah,
Williams.
I get where you're coming from with
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
told you somebody has to be the scapegoat. Somebody has to
yeah.
go out there, put stuff out on
Someone
a
has
limb,
to
and they're
fall on
gonna
the
lead
sword for
out.
for
Right. Yeah,
for
somebody
the
else.
culture.
He's gonna end
Yeah.
up being the one to be the least. But however, comma though, what you just stated though, Trey, um, I kind of beg to differ. I kind of want to go the opposite because of the fact that you said it's not that many linemen, offensive linemen of that caliber. So, with that being said, he could possibly be still the highest paid offensive lineman because how many can you
True
say?
that.
Like
Okay.
you said, you
Like
know what I'm saying?
his value compared to what the team is willing to pay him. Like, okay, like his what he get can set the.
He could set the table. He could definitely set the table. He could set the bar for them being the one to be the one that actually gets the most money out of all linemen out there. Out of anybody out there, he could be the one to get the most money out of all linemen. Even though he's the one coming out, being the first one to do it, there may not be anyone else to get the same amount of money or even more than what he ends up getting because he like Trey said, he's probably one of the best linemen out there.
Yeah, if you
So
got
with
people like Trent Williams and stuff like that, like
right,
I think he got paid not too long by San Francisco,
right,
but
right.
it's like true enough, like you said, even though he may
Matter of fact, y'all got one of the linemen. San Francisco got one of the linemen that's got a
a
99 overall
99,
rating. That's him.
yeah, Trent
That's him.
Williams. Hmm.
That's him. Go ahead.
Trent
I'm
Williams.
sorry. Go ahead.
So it's like just like you said, it may not, saying for Kansas City may be willing to put forth, or may have the ability to put forth the money that's going to give him that type where, even though he's the first, or even Trent Williams might be the first, but even though he might be one of those to be like, okay, I can get paid in the same. So I like you're right. Like I said, we're talking about offensive linemen, offensive
Right.
tackles. That
Right.
like of course a guard, a tackle is going to be more cost effective than a guard,
Right.
because like you said, they protect the quarterback. I mean, they all protect the quarterback, but he protects the quarterback's blind side or backside, depending on. So tackles have more of a value. But yeah, so yeah, duly noted. I got you, definitely without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so this next brief topic is going to probably segue into the what Anthony Price has been proverbially standing on his desk for in reference. So
Before we go there, I want to jump into this real quick, man. I want to jump into what is it? Real quick. Uh, I want to jump into this real quick because I think this is something that needs to be put out there. College football. This came out, I think, last week, and I didn't get a chance to put it out there, but I want to go ahead and put this out there. These are the top 25 programs. Oh, what happened? What's going on? Why is it doing that? Oh, wrong one. That's why.
Because of tomfoolery that you're about to put out. That's what's
It's
going on.
Why it's got to be tomfoolery, bro?
That's what's going on. It's already
That's not tomfoolery,
the
bro.
first formation guys have spoken. They're like, nah, let's just stop playing with this.
Do it again. Okay, here we go. So here's the top programs versus top 25 since 2010. And as the list shows,
12 years, Bishop. Really? 12 years?
12 years. 12 years. This is what came out on 247 Sports the other day. Alabama number one with the 794 over 500. Ohio State at number two at a 767 over 500. Then there's OU, the great Boomer Sooners at 3 at 667 over 500. Then we got the LSU Tigers at 637 over 500. The Clemson Tigers at 627 at 5 over 500. We got the Stanford Cardinals at 574 over 500 at 6. Oregon Ducks at 7 at 571. Oklahoma State at 553 over 500 at 8. And rounding out the top 9 is Georgia with Bulldogs at 9 at 539 over 500. Now, what is this is past 12 years. That's a long time. And 12 years ago, I was still in the military. So 2010, yeah, I had probably about 3 more years before I retired. But either way, yeah, out of that, I think there's one Pac-12. That's Oregon, right? Oregon Pac-12 team that's in. Okay.
2, Stanford.
Stanford in the Pac-12 too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. So there's 2 Pac-12, and then of course there's 2 Big 12s. I don't know. I do have my glasses on, but unfortunately, I just can't. Maybe I'm not seeing it right. I don't see any USC in that top 25 versus the top 25. I mean, the top programs versus the top 25 as being a top program. I mean, I don't know. Just like I said, it was something that came out, and I just wanted to address it. I know a lot of times I find you coming up.
Let's address it. Let's address it. Since that's where you're going to go, let's address it. So let's address it. So first and foremost, in the last 12 years, USC has not been the most dominant or potent team in the college football.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is due to the fact of they were still facing the allegations, from the suit in which they got where they was they banned and stuff, and the fact that they didn't receive a certain amount of scholarship players, so they had to build upon it. When you go back and you look, as you're looking at that graphic which you have put up, Stanford, true enough, and it says that the record against the top 20 versus top 25 teams. So Stanford has played top 25 teams. I think they have been lesser played top 25 teams, but they have played them. They got ones. USC goes out and schedules higher caliber top 25 teams, as well as the teams in which they played are in the top 25 that are in their own that were in their conference. Now, as I stated before, the USC teams have not been that great in the last 12 years. Maybe the middle of that 12-year sector in which they were going to the Rose Bowl and stuff like that. I think those were when they had not Darnold. Yeah, they had Darnold and even Barkley, maybe when they had Barkley, in which they was doing that. And that's basically what we're doing, whereas they was playing, and it was so. So that's basically what we have, and that's just what the truth is. I completely understand that now, but of course, like we said, going forth in a couple of years, although it's going to be a demeaning factor to the Pac-12, with them
Mm-hmm.
losing UCLA and USC, and in many ways more, so much more in my opinion, more than that in reference to play. But the other stuff, which the business part of it, is going to be more demeaning and more detrimental to the Pac-12 than the play in which they have uh is going to be make a difference, but it's going to change because now, like you see, those Ohio States, the Clemsons, all those are teams that are in the conference which they play. Now you get the Penn State, like they're like the Big Ten is chock full of top player organizations or institutions in Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Um, who else is over there? I would say not Nebraska. I think Nebraska is a lower tier, but they have a lot over there. And now adding UCLA and USC is going to basically gives us an opportunity to be a little more competitive for national titles, as opposed to being in the Pac-12, where you have Oregon's and now the Utahs and stuff like that are starting to stand out. So I
Okay. I appreciate that, Trey. I love how you came in there and defended USC. I totally understand where you're coming from, but guess what? I have something else to share with you as well.
I bet.
Mhm. Yeah. Let me share this because this one's gonna make you happy though. Because we on
I was about
NCAA
to say I'm
football.
not going to humble. I'm not going to humble too much more, but go ahead. NCAA football, NCAA, because
And
it's actually I had something in reference to the NCAA football as well. But go ahead.
top QBs in college football. And this is again, this was probably a day after the one I just showed you in regards
Hmm.
to the top 20 programs going up against the top 25 or whatever. Top 10 quarterbacks in college football as of today, going into the 2022 season. Bryce Young, number one, Alabama. Caleb Williams, number two, USC.
Hmm.
Spencer Rattler, South Carolina Gamecock. CJ Stroud, Ohio State. Sam Hartman, Wake Forest. Bryson McCall, I do not know what school that is.
South Carolina,
South
Coastal
Carolina,
South Carolina.
Coastal, that's who it is, Coastal. Brendan Armstrong, Virginia. Dylan Gabriel, Oklahoma.
Caden
This is what
Slovis does not play for USC.
he does not. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
glad because I
that was a typo. He left, went to, I forgot where he went to, but he's not in SC anymore.
but he's still considered a top quarterback though, obviously,
Yeah.
because he's even if he's not in USC, he's still. And then Tyler Van Dyke. So with that being said, let me put this up here real quick for y'all. I'm gonna pull this down, and I want you to. This is what was stated yesterday. Also, Heisman candidates of the 2022 college football season, and they are Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Caleb Williams, Tyler Van Dyke, B.J. Robinson, Dylan Gabriel, and Spencer Rattler. Now, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about all of these things in which have been put up? We've talked about we talked about the let me see if I could do this again real quick. Throw this back up too. There we go. So here we have it because we know college football starts before the NFL, and I love
Hmm.
me some football. I love me some college football.
College
But
football is
these
basically less than 30 days out.
That's right. Less than 30 days, baby. Let's go. Now, as these top 10, and of course, these are 7 Heisman candidates, and there's 10 top quarterbacks. So all seven of those Heisman candidates are on this top 10 quarterbacks college list. However, my question is, who is your favorite? We know Bryce Young is the current Heisman Trophy winner for the
Hmm.
2021 season. A lot of people, as we see, Bryce Young is the one with the towel around his neck as being possibly a two-time Heisman Trophy candidate or trophy winner. Do you see Bryce Young running away or taking away the Heisman again, or do you see one of these six other individuals, or maybe someone in this top 10 being able to steal the Heisman Trophy away from Bryce Young?
So I don't think Bryce Young is going to run away with it this year. As Anthony Price is saying in the comments, uh, we got C.J. Stroud, Ohio State, that is very capable. Um, I would even go as far as say seeing and knowing Dylan Gabriel's uh, possibility, depending on what Brent Venables has for him. Uh,
coming out
out
of South
of
Florida.
yeah, coming
Well,
out of
he was
South Florida.
yeah,
Yeah, Dylan's coming out of South Florida.
he did.
So you know, saying that it would be before he got injured and went away with the that injury and stuff like that. He was basically the catalyst on what UCF was doing when the UCF is like we're just as when they was going undefeated all them years and they were pushing and saying that they can contend with the Alabamas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't. Dylan Gabriel's pretty good in my opinion. He's might be good. Grayson McCall in a lower conference with
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina, coastal South Carolina, can make a push, and it has some promise, especially playing in a lower tier of the Division One. Keaton Slovis is in Pitt now. That's where he's at. So
Okay.
there, he's saying he might take over the that
Pitt
in
just lost
what
the quarterback. That's what you would
yeah,
call go to the NFL.
old school, yeah, alma mater. What's
Um,
his name? Yeah,
golly,
well, he plays in
yeah,
Pittsburgh now.
he just
He's
got drafted. Yeah, he just got drafted. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
He just got drafted.
So
Okay.
Keldon Slovis is possibly going to take over for them. Uh, After playing 3 years in USC, starting as a true freshman. So you have that. We know Spencer Rattler has been in this position before, and
Mhm.
which probably we'll talk about that a little more in a second. Um, but in all honesty, depending on what Lincoln Riley can do, and if he can
Ooh.
showcase what Caleb Williams did in Oklahoma at the beginning, which allowed him
Yeah.
to beseat um, Spencer Rattler. I'll go with the Trojans and Caleb
Of
Williams.
course you would. Of course you would. Of course you would. I mean, and that's why I did it the way I did it because I knew this was going to get him to be able to say Caleb Williams, USC, Lincoln Riley, all that. The thing is, the matter is, I'm gonna be honest. Caleb Williams has a great opportunity to be able to. He definitely needs to be in the Heisman watch without question. He definitely being, especially being that now he's over in the Pac-12. He has an opportunity. He still has his quarterback coach in Spencer. I mean, in Lincoln Riley. So yes, he was already in talks last year, and he didn't even play the full season. He took over for Spencer Rattler when Lincoln benched Spencer again. I think game 4, game 5, he benched Spencer Rattler, and Caleb was even in the talks then of being a Heisman candidate, and he didn't even play a full season. So him going over to USC along with Lincoln Riley, he definitely has a chance. He has the measurables, he has the talent to become a Heisman candidate and and even be maybe even possibly win the Heisman Trophy. Bryce Young, again, it's hard to repeat as a Heisman. We know Tim Tebow tried to do it, he fell short. We've had other quarterbacks
Some
that tried to
have
do
done it, but like you said,
it's
it's
been
hard.
done. It's been done. Yeah, it's been done, but it's very hard, and especially against this lineup. This is no slouch of a quarterback lineup. We're talking Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler, C.J. Stroud, like he said, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Van Dyke, who a lot of people are sleeping on out in the University of Miami. Tyler Van Dyke is a beast. Like there's a lot of kids, and then there's this one kid out of where is he out of? They used to call him AR-15, but he
Oh,
said they
he changed his name. He's
yes. Where is
uh
he at?
is
Um,
he Florida?
Florida.
He's
He's
in
in some Florida.
he's in the
Is it
SEC. He's in the SEC definitely. Yeah,
right?
Florida.
Florida. It is the Gators. So he changed the name. He doesn't want his name to be AR-15 because of all of what's happening in recent mass shootings. He was that was his nickname AR-15. He said he wants to remove that from his name because of the mass shootings, which I applaud him for that. He doesn't want to be recognized as AR-15. They didn't say what the new name was going to be or what they're going to use, but he did recognize. But he's not on this list. But look out for that young man because that young man is doing mad things out there in Florida, the Gators. But all these, like I said, out of all 10 of these are great quarterbacks out in college football, and they definitely have an opportunity to put their name on the list. I um I CJ Stroud, man, he's that dude. He's that dude, man. CJ Stroud is that dude. I am yet still I'm out on Dylan Gabriel. I watched his film on UCF. Again, that's Central Florida. That's the conference. That's still college football, but the conference it doesn't do a lot for you, man. I need to see him play better teams. I need to see his competition against more competitive teams to see if he's that dude. So I'm out on DJ. I mean on Dylan Gabriel as of right now, but we'll see. Um, right now I'm looking at right now I'm looking at I'm looking at Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Caleb and
Do you think
um
Spencer? You think Spencer comes back? Does he make a comeback?
again, so Spencer, I'm gonna put to be honest, man, I'm gonna put Spencer in the same category as Caleb. He went to well, then he's in the SEC because South Carolina ain't they in the SEC?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's in a tougher conference. This is really gonna prove if Spencer can go to South Carolina and put up numbers like he was, like he was expected to put up in Oklahoma,
Hmm.
then
Which
definitely
way
Spencer.
technically he did. He just did. He faltered in the last year in which he played
Right,
there
yeah, he had some bad games, man.
because he was a
Like
front runner for the Heisman Trophy, if I'm not
he
correct.
was. He was initially. He was coming into the season. He was, but then he had some bad games, man. Especially against Texas. He came out and then Caleb had to come in and relieve him, and he came
Man,
in
you know
and
how long it has been since USC has had a true triple threat quarterback? Like the last one in which we had was like I mean we had some that were, but the last one that came in which was starter was like Mark Sanchez. And Jackson Dart was supposed to as well, but of course he's gone now. Jackson Dart is in Ole Miss, uh,
mm,
and picked up in the transfer portal. So, but yeah.
yeah, a lot of the transfers and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of people, you're gonna see a lot of different teams with a lot of different quarterbacks this upcoming college football season because so many transfers happen. What was like on that list? Out of that list, I think we had four transfers on that list that we just saw out of 10. Was four transfers on that list, 4 or 5. Half that list got transferred out to a whole new different team. So we're gonna see a lot of new faces and a lot of new uniforms upcoming. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out about the
So,
Heisman and
additionally,
all.
also in that Bishop, I would like to know your and then which we could cover this, and then we can go back into the NFL. Um,
Okay.
during the, I guess it was during the SEC media
Yesterday.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Lane Kiffin came out, and of course, we know Lane Kiffin has had his stance in reference to the NIL name, image, and likeness. If you don't know what the NIL stands for, in which he
Mm-hmm.
stated that it probably would be better, what would be more beneficial and significant to helping the coaches is if the players, if there was a salary cap on the NIL, to where it was only a specific
Mm-hmm.
amount of money in which can be distributed to teams in which they can utilize that money to distribute to the players, then it'll be lesser headaches. But of course, it's not the NIL can't be sanctioned by coaches and or the organization for the most part. Although coaches and organizations or institutions are able to go out and broker deals to where they have people that are willing to provide NIL funding to their athletes, they can't do that. Can do that, in which a lot of people give North Carolina give uh, Texas A&M slack for working within the lines. Almost something similar to like if you caught us yesterday in conversations with the MBA, the coach, the um, Fort Fort Jackson's coach worked within the confines of the NBA rules to build a team that tended to end up becoming a championship caliber team and winning the NBA championship. So a lot of people give um, Jimbo a lot of slack because they feel like that he's poaching and utilizing and buying his team. But
Mm.
of course, just like anything else, like a lot of times we work within the rules and we go ahead and we exercise the rules as best we can to do what we got to do to for us to be formidable and winning. And so Lane Kiffin would like to. He said it would just be better if we could do that by minimizing that. So I
Mm.
ask your take. Do you agree with Kiffin, or are you like, you know what, it is what it is. You do what you got to do. Do like Jimbo Fisher, in which they say he's bought his team.
Which came from, of course, the GOAT, who stated that mainly Nick Saban.
They they purchased a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, they purchased a
players
lot of
with
players. Yeah.
NIL.
I think you know what Lane Kiffin may be on to something, man. I think that might be. I think
If it
that
was
might
able
be.
to be, it might be some. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think that might uh, cut down a lot of the confusion and alleviate a lot of the problems in which Nick Saban and a lot of the other coaches have feel about buying players because of the NIL rule and things of that nature. So yeah, I think Lane Kiffin may be on to something that might be able to be something that could be looked at. I agree with that.
Okay. Uh, so moving back into the NFL talk, and which is getting closer to a conversation to be had, which is pretty funny to me. Um, so yesterday or day before yesterday, over the weekend, Minnesota wide receiver Justin Jefferson laid his claims to after this year right here, Bishop. After this year right here, he will be the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Ooh,
He stated after this year. This year, he says Devontae Adams is the best. Is probably going to be the best receiver in the NFL. But he said after 2022, after Deuce Deuce, he is the reason for the season that he's going to be the top receiver in the NFL. Do you agree with that, Bishop?
who's their
Is that a
quarterback?
fair? Kirk Cousins.
Uh, you like that?
You
You
like
like
that,
that? You like
Bishop?
that,
You
Kirk
like
Cousins?
that? Yes,
Yeah,
Bishop.
you
You
like
like
it.
that?
Um, that's a huge. That's a huge. I mean, when you're a player of a skill position like Justin Jefferson or like wide receivers, you're supposed to feel that way. You're supposed to put yourself on a pedestal and try to be the best player in that position without question. That part, Zach. Well, that's why I asked who was his quarterback.
So we know
You like
he's the
that?
best player on his team, but is
Without
he
question.
like we break down? Is he the best player in their division?
At wide
Probably.
receiver?
Yeah, wide receiver. Is he the best player in
I
their
thought we broke
division?
that down. I thought we broke that
Because
down because
Devontae Adams is gone.
right in their
So
division,
he's
right?
yeah. So Green Bay. So he can't. He's smashing Green Bay. Who else is in their division?
In the Minnesota division.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. I don't know right off the top of my head.
Detroit is that division? Is Detroit in
Yeah, I
this
think
division? Okay, so he might have the Detroit.
Detroit. Who else is in Detroit?
Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, and
He's in the NFC, right?
NFC. Is it the South? NFC South?
No, the NFC
Central.
North.
North. NFC North. Yeah. So
Yeah,
is Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, and
that's it.
Minnesota.
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay, so maybe he is. He's the best quarterback and wide receiver in their division, maybe.
Yeah, in his
But
division. Yeah,
but
yeah.
clearly he's not the best wide receiver in the conference.
No. Oh no,
By no
not in the
means.
conference. No,
Yeah.
not in the conference.
So
He's probably top five though. He's probably top five in the conference. In the NFC conference, yeah, in the conference, he's probably top five.
you think he's better than CD Lamb?
Yeah, I think he got an edge on CD. I think he probably has the edge on CD. Only one that's above him is probably AJ Brown in the NFC. Cooper Cup, because it ain't they NFC. Um
DeAndre Hopkins,
DeAndre Hopkins.
DK
Mike
Metcalf,
DK.
or even Tyler Lockett.
See,
That,
so with
that's
him
the NFC West alone.
alone, yeah. So and then with Lockett, and so I put him and Lockett probably on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah,
Two different styles in a
mhm.
sense.
Yeah, I put him in him and Lockett in the same on the same level.
And then you start. Then you if you start going through divisions, Mike Evans, Chris
That's what I'm
Godwin,
saying. Yep.
Mike Thomas, Landry, presumably he can start getting pushed back. Yeah. But in the
Yeah.
same, but one is clearly he's better. He's the best in this division, most likely. Even though there's probably some there that can probably give him a run or on the nipping at his heels.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's so
And then you got whatchamacall too, right? Your boy.
Debo.
Ain't Debo Samuels. Ain't he
Hmm.
NFC West?
Yeah,
Yeah. So then
NFC West. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so his admission to, but I don't know to make a jump because he's not saying that he's the best right now. He's basically saying a year from now he's going to be that much better to where he's going to make a huge leap. Um, is he better than Chase Claypool?
I put him on. You know what? Yeah, I give him a slight edge over
Okay,
Chase.
okay,
I give him a slight edge. Slight edge.
okay.
Chase
So
Chase is right there though. Chase is right there. Yeah,
yeah, so I
Chase.
mean, so basically, you know, what I'm saying that's basically what we come down to when you look at it. So I just don't.
Like, is he better than Juju? Because he's in Kansas City.
Maybe I think he might have Juju. I
See,
think he might.
yeah,
I think he might have Juju.
that NFC division ain't no joke. Ain't no
Yeah.
pump.
So yeah,
And
so so definitely, like you said, is a tremendous difference when you look at
mm,
it. So what came out yesterday? A couple of things. A lot of came out in reference to saying this is saying this little segment is going to be for our gamers, our Madden football heads. Saying just to go over a little break from saying our usual conversations. A lot came out yesterday. First, before we get to the real meat and potatoes, let's talk about the top 10 tight ends with the Madden rating. So as y'all know, if y'all pay attention or seen different shows or different segments on like ESPN and stuff like that, there's a breakdown of how the Madden ratings go, right? Like they
mm.
have people that come out and go to games and watch the games and compile a data that in turns commits to where the Madden ratings are for the most part as they do their research, and then throughout the season, that's how we get the ups and downs and the shifts of the ratings, right? So for the in which could be presumably we can sit up and look at that even more into a degree of where were you going for the top 10 to start the NFL season, presumably. So top 10 Madden tight ends, maybe top 10 tight ends in the NFL. Starting at the bottom with number 10, Noah Fant with an 82 rating. Dalton Schultz, Dallas Cowboys at 82 rating.
At
Tyler,
what number are we at?
number 8, number 9. That was number 9. Tight end.
Where'd you get that from?
This is off the. Where do you get yours from?
Because this is the one. Hold on, let me see. Because the one I'm looking at, hold on. Because yeah, the one I'm looking at is a little different.
Okay.
But I mean, we can keep going with what you got. But I want to
Okay.
also,
Just let
I'm
me.
gonna
Yeah.
show,
Just let me know. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this one and see because this is the one off that I'm seeing in regards to tight ends. Let me remove this real quick.
Off a score.
Yeah. And
Mm.
this is the one I got off of ESPN the other day. I think this one's identical. When me and oh no, because Mike Jenzinski, he wasn't on there. When me and who was it? Ron was talking about it on Friday. I
Uh huh.
think that's the. Let me see. Oh no, you know what? This is different. Yeah, the number. So go ahead, read yours, and then let's just go through both of them. But yeah, because
Okay.
mine is
Because
jumbled from the one.
it's similar. It's similar. It's
Yeah,
just
it's very
they
similar.
take
Yeah,
away. So like I
I think
said, no
the
Dalton
top three
Schultz.
are the same on all of them
Dalton
though. I
Schultz. Well,
think.
actually, they're like okay. You for see as he goes. So Dalton Schultz they have as 82. Yours has him as It starts out with the 82 and then it goes.
Oh,
So
he's
Jack
going to
Ertz
eight.
because this one Zach Ertz is number. Wait, hold on. Let me see something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I stand corrected. It is that is the correct top 10. This one starts with
Okay.
in the top 14. So I stand
Okay.
corrected. I didn't count. I thought that looked more than 10. So Zach Ertz, like you said, 84, number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Henry, number 84. Um, Dallas Goddard, 85. Mike
Mhm.
Gesicki, 86. Kyle Pitts, 87. TJ Hawkinson, uh, 89. Darren Waller, 91. Mark Andrews, 93. Kerry George Kittle, 97. And like you said, uh, Kelsey with the number one tight end spot at a 98.
Right.
You agree with this, Bishop? Even for from an NFL standpoint, with this would be, or even let's make it a triple threat from a fantasy standpoint. Is this? Would you say this would be potentially the same order in which someone made fantasy draft? How it's seen as for the NFL, and of course last Madden, which it is.
So it's interesting, right? So for the most part, when in regards to, like you said, in regards to fantasy, this is a great top 10. Mike Jasewski, he like the top tens in which I spoke to, like I was saying earlier, what I spoke to Ron on Friday about. This wasn't Madden ratings, but this was the top 10 tight ends in the NFL currently. This wasn't Madden ratings. And
Mm-hmm.
number 10 was Hunter Henry. Number 9 was Dawson Knox, which is not even on this list.
Wow, Dawson from Buffalo.
Buffalo, yes. Dawson Knox is not even on this list, but he was rated number 9 as tight ends in the NFL. Number 8 was Dallas Schultz, which is on here. No,
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Schultz is not even on
Dallas,
here.
he was in the top 14 for
Yes.
Madden ratings.
Was Dawson Knox in the top 14 as well?
I think he might have been. Let me see. The other
Okay.
four in which we didn't mention were, Dawson Knox, Tyler Higbee, Dalton Schultz, and Noah Fant.
Okay. And number 3 was TJ Hawkinson. He was number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, number 6 was Dallas go Bear Goddard at number 6, best tight ends in the NFL right now. Another one that's on here. Oh no, he's on there. Kyle Pitts was number 5 as one of the best. Mark Andrews was number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Walker was number 3.
Mm.
Here we go.
George Kittle, number 2.
No,
Travis
Travis
Kelce,
Kelce was number 2. George Kittle number
number
1
1.
as the best tight ends in the NFL. Not Madden ratings, but the best tight ends as of going into the 2022 season.
Mm. So and as far as like the best tight ends going to the NFL's tight ends, I can understand the Kittle
Kelsey
and
trade
Kelsey
swap.
difference, due to the fact of Kittle is going to be asked to do more in the offense, and then also when you look at it, we don't know what we getting in the Kelsey to Mahomes connection now that they are
Nah,
down.
top heavy
Yeah.
over the top.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now they're kind of like the dynamic has changed and how they're going to run their offense. So I think it has to be seen first as opposed to just give Kelsey the flowers. Of course, the Madden rating is based off what they played last year and all that
That
type
part.
of stuff.
Right.
And then the NFL, for the most part, plays off of how what they believe is going forth. And when you look at it, so I can understand Kelsey being slided over him. As
Mhm.
well, the same thing with Andrews and Waller.
Mhm.
Like the top four is going to be like bananas. That top four in Kittle,
Absolutely.
Kelsey, Andrews, and Waller is crazy. And then you have like the Hawkinsons, the Gesicki's, the Goddards, the Ertz, Schultz, depending on what he did. Like Schultz, I
Right.
had him in my fantasy last year, and he did damage
He balled
that
out.
I
He
did
balled.
not. Yeah, I
He
did not
balled
expect that, but I was
out.
like, wow, Schultz. So you know, what I'm saying, of course, he's on my radar going forth. So yeah, so but
And
it
he's
was.
waiting on contract. And he's also Schultz is waiting. I spoke about it the other about a week ago. Schultz
Mm-hmm,
is waiting on a contract. He's still playing on his current contract. He's a
mm-hmm.
free agent after this year,
So
so
he's
he's
looking
about to
for an
ball out.
extension.
Yeah,
Yes,
and so he's gonna
contract
ball
year.
out. Yes, contract year. He's gonna definitely try and ball out because he becomes a free agent as when the year ends. So he's definitely going to try and do all he can do. I don't see Mark Andrews having the same stats as last year. People going to have game plan for him. I mean, what you fail to realize is Mark Andrews is playing with one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the league, if not the most elusive in Lamar Jackson. So you can't really game plan too much for Mark Andrews when you really have to worry about Lamar. In my opinion, Anthony, that's my opinion. I feel like Mark Andrews is still going to be Mark because their main focus is going to be Lamar, in my opinion. But I mean, it is what it is. Madden
Now,
rating. tight end ratings of tight ends in the league. Go ahead, Trey.
Now, moving on to the what really got people goat is the wide receiver rankings for Madden. Again, like I said, does this correlate to the NFL or even fantasy's top picks? I don't know. After seeing it, then we'll talk about it. Started with number 10, Amari Cooper, Cleveland Browns. With or without Deshaun Watson, that makes a difference.
That
Keenan
part.
Allen, wide receiver for the Los Angeles Chargers. We know he has Justin Herbert. The boy is bad. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, Washington Commanders. He did damage last year with Heineke. Now he had Matty Ice. Maybe that makes a difference. We will see. Mike Evans, 92 rating, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know if Evans is a better option than Godwin. Is going to be seen. Of course, Godwin, is injury prone. He has had injuries over the season, but we'll see if Justin Jefferson.
The one we just spoke about.
Just spoke about Justin Jefferson at a 93 rating. Stephon Diggs, Buffalo Bills, 95 rating. DeAndre Hopkins. We ain't seen him in a little bit, and we're not going to see him for a couple of more, a little while longer.
Yep.
Currently staying at a 96. Of course, as far as when it comes to the NFL, I think he's a little lower on the list due to the fact, like I just said, we haven't seen him, and it's been a while. He went out middle of last year. He's going to be out to the quarter of this year or a third of this year. Tyreek Hill. So on Madden, he's a top 3, 97. In the NFL, we don't know yet. Maybe when you take in consideration, he's playing in a new offense with a new player, someone whose arm isn't as strong as Mahomes, but from what he says, it's a little more accurate. So they might put him in different areas and stuff like that. 90, 98, Mr. Triple Crown himself, Cooper
Cooper.
Cup,
That part.
or as Chris Berman would say, Cooper, my cup runneth over.
Over. Yeah.
Basically at a 98.
He stole that from me too, just so y'all know. I've been saying Cooper.
Been saying this since he got in the league.
Yeah.
And then of course, last for the 23 wide receivers, top 10, Madden 23, Devontae Adams. So when you look at this as far as NFL, so it's suitably enough for Devontae. He's probably with a better wide receiver. I mean, quarterback in tandem in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yeah.
When you got to an extent, I think definitely without a doubt we might see a Cooper Cup above Devontae Adams in Madden if Woods and Odell Beckham was locked in Los Angeles, because now that causes a problem so where you can't just guard Cup 1-on-1. I mean, you can't double team him, and now you have to go 1-on-1 because in which I think he might have. There might be more in which he has in Las Vegas. But when you couple Carr with, saying a little bit better of a running back, even though Kendrick Drake is basically out and he might not be ready for the beginning of the season, it makes a difference. So it's interesting when you come to the Las Vegas Raiders with Devontae Adams. So I'm not too far off with the 98, 99, although I do think, I don't know, Bishop, you agree, should Cooper Cup have received a 99 rating?
No, I think Cooper Cup is good where he is. In my opinion,
he has room to grow.
Yeah, room to grow.
He's probably going to be a 99 by the end of the season, way before the end of the season.
Without question, as long as he stays healthy and doesn't nothing happen, I feel like he will. I do feel like Tyreek Hill should probably be a 98 instead of a 97, though. However, I think he's I think a 98 just because of his speed alone should put him automatically at a 98, because no one is a more vertical threat like Tyreek Hill when it comes to speed. But my biggest issue, Trey, and what I have a huge problem with,
I think it's going to backtrack to a conversation in which I was just about to bring up and ask you another conversation. But does it have to be do with a certain receiver? Oh no, I thought that was something else. You put that Keenan Allen too low. I don't know.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I think Keenan Allen is where
Well,
he should
let's
be.
talk about the fact of Jamar Chase is
Man,
not on this
Chase is
list.
not on this list, and he led the NFL in well, not led. He was in the top four in the NFL in four categories. And you mean to tell me he's not in the top 10 wide receiver? He was actually rated number 18 in Madden's 2023 wide receivers, and I believe his overall rating was an 87 or 88.
And of course,
If
with
I'm not
seeing that, of course, and seeing that in the real time, Jamar Chase is like, I guess I have to do more and do better. So that's one of that brings me to that question, Bishop. Like now we have a situation to where the lines are being crossed. Madden ratings versus real life
ratings. Uh-huh.
creeps in, and where it's
Mm.
like, what I'm saying, to where even one a player does or did not takes this and feels like they're inadequate or they're being snubbed. What do
Well,
you think that does for the psyche?
what like he said, Jamar said, he said that just gives me motivation. And then I don't know if you know, right after that, after Jamar wrote that he need, just motivation for him to do better and to so he can be a higher rating on Madden. Tom Brady, the GOAT, came back right after that and responded with, he said, my second year, I wasn't even on the list. I wasn't even on the Madden. Like they didn't even put me on there. So he was giving Jamar Chase something to look forward to. He said, "Man, don't pay attention to that. It's a game, basically. It is
Mm-hmm,
what it is. A lot of people do pay attention to the game because there's a lot of gamers who play Madden,
mm,
and a lot of people look to that to see how how these receivers, their overall rating will be on Madden." He said, but Tom Brady, the GOAT, basically told him, I wasn't even on it in my second year, so don't even sweat it. He said, basically, he's telling him in language, focus on the game. When you get out there, improve your worth. A lot like Justin Jefferson has said, what his plan is. I'm sure he plans on being higher than a 93 overall when it's all said and done for Madden 2024. He's not looking at being number a 93 overall. He's looking at it being a 99 without question. So I am a bit shocked that Jamar Chase is not on there because, like I said, he was number 4 in 4 different categories in the NFL at a wide receiver:
mm-hmm.
passing yards. I mean, not passing yard, receiving yards, touchdowns, and yards after the catch. He was in the top 4. Yet you don't have him in the top 10 as wide receiver in Madden ratings. Is like that doesn't seem right to you, Trey, or anyone that's watching, listening? Don't get me wrong. I mean, he was 18. They got him rated at 18, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, his overall rating was like a 87. It's either 87 or 88, something like that. His overall rating. He's 18 on the Madden 2023 rating. That's a bit low,
So
man. Like that, who just made the Super Bowl and all of that. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, bro.
the 18, probably so. Who were the other people between him and
So I think
between
so.
Amari Cooper and him?
So
The
what
other
you call
seven players.
who was it? Hold on, let me. I'm about to tell you something too. I don't know who it was, but somebody on ESPN said he should be in place of Amari Cooper. And I've said this, Trey. You heard me say this when Rich Applewhite was on here. Oh, Amari Cooper, I felt like was overrated anyway, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. In my opinion. But let me see. Let me find out the hold on. Let me see if I can find that whole complete rating. And so you can see all, I think it was 2025, I think it was. Hold on. It was it was a bunch of them. It had all 20, I think it was 20. And that's how I found out because they put it up. Uh, let's see. Because yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they had all of them. And I'm gonna see is it no. And y'all be sure to stay tuned, man, all week, man. We're gonna come out with all the ratings as they come out to us for for top 32. Okay, here we go. Is this it? Yep, here it is. I got you. All right, let me get it. This is all 32. Actually, this ain't just hold on, bro. This is all 32. I think. Hold on, was that right? No. Cause oh my god, did I just lose it? I just lost it. No, there it is. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm finna give it to you. Y'all stay tuned, man. We got it. It's coming. Yeah, here we go. There it is. There you go, Trey. All 32 wide receivers. And as you see, 18. No, I thought they had him at 18. Where is he? Wait a minute. Where is he at? Wait a minute.
23.
When was this leak? Because this is a total different.
Yeah, this is different. You have
This says
Jefferson
17
as
hours.
3.
This says leak. This was seven. This says 17 hours ago. Oh, this is a totally different list.
So what this looks like is the list of the top with the top players
Oh, the top 30
for
top wide
each
receivers.
team. Yeah, for
Okay,
each
not the
team.
rating. Yeah, not the
Yeah.
rating. Not the rating. My bad. That's my fault. That's not the rating.
Top it says the top well it's the rating, the top 32 wide receivers
Oh
league.
yeah, they still got
Matt.
their ratings
So
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
they got the rating on there, but it's for every player within the NFL. So it's not like but then again it is the rating. So it has Tyreek at it with a 96, Jefferson has a 96. What's Jefferson? Jefferson was a 96?
Jefferson.
But they
No,
have him
he's
they have Chase as having a 90, so yeah.
yeah. They no Jefferson wasn't a 96. He was a hold on, I'm finna tell you. Jefferson was a 93.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure what this is or how.
Yeah,
I think
he was a
so. Even though it was, it said it was 17 hours ago, but it might have just been posted 17 hours ago. This came out probably way before that, but
yeah.
it's
It
definitely
had
with all 32 team. The I guess you could say the top player for every. Oh no, it's not because I was about to say you got Renfro and Dave Adams on there at the same time. You got Beckham on there. He hasn't even played. He's at 84. They said. Uh, who
yeah,
else? Like a double up. Chasing Higgins.
yeah,
Uh, Sutton. Sutton's on there. I'm very sure. Who else? Uh, Mari Cooper, Brown, Godwin. I think that's Godwin down there. D Hop, Michael Thomas, DJ kept Metcalf and TJ Lockett, Adam Thielen and Jefferson, Waddle and Hill. So it's a lot of tandems on there.
yeah. I saw that too. I was looking at that as well. I was seeing that they
Yeah,
got
Evans and Godwin.
yeah, teammates on there. They had Beckham and Pittman, or
As I
not Beckham
said,
and
Allen and Williams. So that's that alone. Cup is singular on there. Diggs is single on there. Hopkins and Brown. That's another tandem.
yeah,
Uh, Debo, he's on there by himself, I think. McLaurin's on there by himself. Cooper's on there by himself.
right.
Who's D Johnson?
D Johnson.
I don't know who he plays for.
Uh, hold on.
CD Lamb is on there by himself. Devin Moore is on there by himself. Brandon Cooks is on there by himself. Who's D Smith? Oh, that's your Smith. Oh, so
Yeah,
AJ Brown. So yeah, AJ Brown and Smith is on there.
yeah,
AJ Brown's number 15. So AJ Brown and Smith is on there, and Woods is on there by himself. Sutton is down on there by himself. Pittman's on this, but Beckham is on there by himself. So yeah, unless you count Beckham and Cup, but I mean Beckham hasn't signed anywhere yet.
right. He ain't even signed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that either way. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Deontay Johnson. Appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you, Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh. So he's down on there by himself as well. Because the next closest person they would have had would have been Chase Claypool. So yeah, so definitely like you said, well, as we get closer to the NBA NFL season, you start to have all those things start to take precedence right now. Then the gaming world, the hottest things you got coming out is Madden on a yearly basis, especially towards the beginning of football, as well as in 2K that's due to come out in a couple of months after Madden gets dropped. So there's more to talk about. So like I said, NFL is back to some extent, some degree, as we look forward. Like I said, training camp begins. Uh, as we know, Saints fans is out there. I'm in Louisiana, so I give that an OG shot. The Saint fan, the one and only time I'm probably gonna say that is who that nation. Um, People like Anthony Price, Commanders, opportunity for them to come in and do some damage, and show out and do some and be a wrecking a force in the NFC East. Um, of course, everyone seems to love the Cowboys. We're going to conversation about them. Uh, I did not see that, Anthony. I will have to check that out for FIFA. Or Uh, Additionally, Cowboys fans, saying, is in the building. I'm sure they're always locked and cocked and going. Philly fans, interesting conversation I wanted to ask. I don't know if Key's looking or who's looking. Like, why is it that people choose Philly over Pittsburgh when Pittsburgh is the more revered and has more notoriety? That's almost like, even though they're not the same city, but that's almost like Los Angeles Raiders. I mean, Los Angeles Rams and Los Angeles Chargers, or the Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers. Why Philadelphia or Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox? Why Philadelphia, the Eagles, instead of Pittsburgh Steelers in the state of Pennsylvania? Um, of course, I know fan bases are separate because they're two separate cities, but I just wonder that. But and like I said, many other organizations, um, when it comes down uh, to that aspect of it. You know what? Actually, when Bishop come back, I have a question for him. Now that I think about it, um, but like I said, many different things that come into play. We have is getting started. Oh, there he is. So, question. I just had this thought, Bishop.
What's up?
So you're a Phillies fan. I'm very sure
Hmm.
you will. I'm very sure you will Philly because they're closer to your home, which I guess you prefer them over. So why not? Okay, two part. So why a Philly fan as opposed to a Giant or a Jets fan? And then additionally, you said you want to stay with Brooklyn. If you went with the Philly Eagles, why not the Philadelphia 76ers?
So why not the Philadelphia 76ers over the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah, once you
Because
left
because I am from
Brooklyn.
New York.
New York. Okay, so
That's why.
but
And
okay,
the reason why I became a Philadelphia Eagles fan is because of Donovan McNabb, who played at
okay, we
Syracuse.
did talk about that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Cuse. Okay, so you just went with Donovan McNabb and stayed put.
Hmm. That part. That part. Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was.
I guess that works for me. So of course, of course, that's the show for today. Of course, you'll say be sure to check us with us high speeds every Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours, Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock a.m. to 9. I mean 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for those civilian minded individuals. As we continue to do more coverage, and start to make that shift to where we go back into the NFL season and out. from the NBA season, NCAA season, all that's on court. As we get closer, make more conversation about the Olympics. We're getting to the midway of the season for the MLB. More talk with the Major League Baseball. Hey, it's sports. Sports is starting to kick back up. Those things in which we love. Always look forward to doing. Like it's getting closer and closer to our fantasy football uh, league to be kicking off. So at some point we'll start hitting those people, connecting with those people, ones that we know that ones that get down to start to formulate the league, and then after that we basically start looking and choosing at largest in which we are seeing the invites, so that way we can get
That's
the best season possible. So of course, like I said, ideally let us know, you know, saying, hey, if you want to be a part of it, so we can make sure that we add. It probably won't be for faint of heart. It might be something that's not always, but it will be fun, guaranteed. Live draft where you can see on screen people doing their thing and drafting. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be something, definitely indeed. Bishop, any words before we get up out here, bro?
No, mainly, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to First Formation, man. Without y'all, there is no First Formation. Me and Trey, we really, really appreciate y'all for tuning in, especially you faithful ones that come on every single day and rock with us every morning, Monday through Friday, from 09 to 1100 hours. We really appreciate you. Like he said, I can't specify or can't over exaggerate or over uh, emphasize enough that hey, get into the first inaugural first formation flag football, um, fantasy football league that's about to come upon us, man. It's gonna be epic, just like y'all saw yesterday's show. It's gonna be when the season started, man. Football season started. It's gonna be a whole new show. I'm telling y'all right now, whole new show, whole new show. If y'all think y'all like the show now, wait until football season kick off.
A
The
full
show is
football
really
season for us to get
man,
into.
oh, it's gonna be real. Yeah, we called the back end of football when we first started first formation. Now we got a full season plus college too. Oh man, y'all in for y'all in for one for real, for real. But with that, man, y'all have a great Tuesday. Enjoy y'all Tuesday. Be safe out there, man. Love and hug on some of your family and friends. Let them know you love them and that you care. And we wouldn't be first formation without y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day and enjoy it, man. That's all I got, Trey.
We out. Appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow, high speeds.
Peace. It's RO5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. We'll holler back.